You guys are not always going to be able to play with your friends. Sometimes for balancing purposes, we are going to put a couple people on some different channels. I know that we try, though we're not always perfect, we try to give everyone the best opportunity to play with their friends, even though it doesn't always happen. I take the challenge seriously. 200 bits donating. I think he's got a very short, where is he at right now? Oh, he is 194 underneath Resdra for number 3, but that's okay because you still have 5 days, so you can donate some more, I suppose, on Thursday and catch up into 3rd place if you want. But no, seriously, I'm not doing that. Again, another thing to note on the bits thing, as I've said before, as this stream as a whole, we actually only get 50% of all donations through bits because
we only get a bit.
We're affiliates, not partners, and affiliates split 50-50 bit donations to Twitch and to the affiliate. So if you were to ask me seriously, about donating bits, I would say don't worry too hard about donating bits. But I appreciate the bits nonetheless. We, as a stream as a whole, appreciate the bits nonetheless because it opens up a lot of stuff. As CEO donates the other 300 necessary to come in at 506 and rush into spot number 3. There we go, sealing his fate with now, I think he's gonna have triple badges. There he goes. Oh, it's just double badges. He does have that 3rd place, so I'm on the board. Hells yeah, as he says. All right, let's talk about this game. Number 1, Darius Akali Thresh banned away by Team Otter as Braum, Jax, and Urgot banned away by Team Xeno. Not surprised at all to see the Urgot banned away. He's getting played a lot more. Have you listened to the new patch notes, Wraith?
Was there a new patch released?
There is a new patch that isn't dropped just yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be dropped very soon for Worlds, but it hasn't dropped officially yet. I think it's going to be either tonight or tomorrow, because Worlds does start this coming weekend. And
it should be tonight. They usually patch on Tuesday nights or Wednesday mornings. Actually, it's technically speaking Wednesday mornings because it's at about 2 a.m. Anyway, so we've got Otter picking up Nami, and no, I have not read those yet, but I will be very soon.
Okay, we aren't too affected by it because, of course, the patch hasn't dropped just yet. A quick run through, all I have to say about it as I listen to Freak go on and on for about an hour talking about it is everyone's getting buffed! I kid you not. A ton of people and items are getting soft or hard buffs, mostly, apparently, just to make everyone viable and tons of excitingness and craziness for Worlds, but that means be aware in your coming games that you're not going to want to run full tank compositions because everyone's going to have tons of damage.
Tons of damage.
Seriously, there's a lot of people that are getting buffs, and yeah, just take Ignite, have fun. It's a kill v kill type of game is what it's going to be the meta turning into most likely. So anyway,
sounds like a fun time to be an ADC.
I know, right?
You have a bunch of very strong assassins running around the map.
Darius getting his W buffed by 15%.
And you have your semi-autistic support who decided to pick, I don't know, Heimerdinger, something like that.
Well, because you got to play the new skin, right? Dota balancing. Yeah, Thresh is getting his Q cooldown reduced by 4 seconds.
Wait,
4
Cody,
seconds.
Are you loving this?
Well, he doesn't love it this game because his Thresh is banned away from him. But yeah, in future games, it's going to be pretty insane. Pretty insane. So anyway, we got Calm Squee picking up the Graves, XLNC Otter grabbing Nami, and XLNC Dive with the Kaisa. Though, as you see Kaisa sitting on the Ignite, or
That's a funny looking Ignite.
I know, right? I'm thinking the Ignite on Nami. Smite. More than likely, some of these champions are going to be traded around. We'll see if Graves really wants top lane. They're probably going to be traded up. As Pyke, Lucian, Lux, Kindred, squishy team from Team Xeno so far. We'll see if they want to grab at least one tank before their composition completely rolls through.
Yeah, and that's a really heavy engaged bot lane. And Dive is holding on to that Smite, despite the fact that they do have a Graves. So is it going to be Nami Graves or Nami Kaisa? I really hope it's Nami Kaisa down in the bottom lane. Anyway, They're probably just switching here.
Which I'm a really big fan of, because it makes things more interesting for us as casters and analysts when the teams are doing some of this communication. I saw it a little bit last Thursday, I think one game of last Tuesday, where they're doing those trades around. It allows you to really make use of that priority pick when it comes to picks and bans and people getting champions that they really want, as well as seeing those target bans like the Thresh, like the Darius, is really, really fun to watch as well, because people are starting to get known for these champions, and that makes things even more interesting. So with 20 seconds remaining, I'll give it another 10 seconds and just kind of blabber for a second. Irelia grabbed for Team Xeno. Not exactly tank, but can be built kind of off tank. And maybe they're planning on using the Kindred ultimate as well to kind of be a team fight saver, potentially. Rough composition.
You also have just a ton of burst damage coming through along with the Pike execute. So it's possible this is going to be more of a roaming or a poking comp in the mid lane. But it looks more along the lines of a catch comp. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, let's roll through the players and the champions, and then we'll discuss a little bit more. So for the side of Team Otter, we've got Kumsquee taking the Kaisa in the AD carry role. XLNC Otter with Nami, having that ignite for extra damage. XLNC Dive with the Graves in the jungle. Swings both ways, taking Nautilus on the top side, and Calm Poison on the Syndra in the mid lane.
And for Team Xeno, we've got Swipper on Kindred in the jungle. We've got Ericia on Lux in the mid lane. We've got Arcane Vixen taking Pike in the bottom lane supportive role. Cody J showing out on Lucian, not his usual role, on Lucian in the bottom lane ADC role, and XLNC Xeno rounding out the composition and the team with Aurelia in the top lane. Definitely going to be interested to see Cody J on an ADC, as he is a support main. We'll see if he actually knows how to farm. Yeah, but let's take a look at these compositions here. I like the bot lane matchup for Cody J and Arcane Vixen a little bit better in the early game. The all-in potential between Pike and Lucian is absolutely insane. However, if they screw up their all-in, then Otter and Kumsquee have the advantage. Also, you have Cody J and Arcane Vixen completely statted out for the all-in using the Ignite and the heal. However, Kais is looking more to freeze lane, get an advantage that way by taking the teleport there. So we have more of a stall for late versus kill them early in the bot lane. Early advantage over to Lucian. However, if they misplay and get poked down, that advantage reverses itself. In the jungle, you have farm versus farm. Graves has the advantage in the early all-in duels over Kindred, but Kindred outscales, so it's kind of a question of who farms more and who invades more. Nautilus in the top lane has a laning disadvantage against Aurelia. Aurelia definitely has kill potential on Nautilus, but really swings both ways. Is going to want to be freezing at his tower as best as possible to negate the possibility of an Aurelia all-in. He also would want to fight with the wave, if at all. And then, of course, Calm Poison taking Syndra in the mid lane versus Lux. That's kind of a skill matchup there. Poke and then burst. Basically, whoever hits their CC and follows it up with a decent ultimate wins. Lux's shield does a pretty good job at blocking out a lot of Syndra's damage, and you will have barrier on Lux versus cleanse on Syndra. Syndra will be able to cleanse out of the Lux binding. However, once that is down, the Lux should be able to just W and barrier and survive Syndra's ultimate. So it's looking to be, it's going to have to be a sustained fight in order for anybody to get the kill there. Anyway,
right. If you had to pick a team to win, who would it be and why?
I would have to say it would completely go off of who gets the advantage in laning phase. Because if Lucian and Pike get ahead, they're going to do really, really well. However, if they fall behind in those early levels, they go for an all-in and it gets stuffed by a Nami bubble or something like that, and they take a heavy amount of damage, they're going to have a really hard time going for another all-in, especially if they blow summoners. So toward the late game, having that Nautilus tank for the front line, having a stronger late game scaling Kaisa. She also wow. The defensiveness coming out of Comsquee here. You've got fleet footwork for the sustain in lane, and then you took resolve second. Lots of respect being paid over here. Can't get much more defensive than those runes that she took there. I think, is it Team Xeno? Yeah, second. Yes, I'm fairly certain Team Xeno, if they get a lead, will run away with it. But in a neutral game, Team Otter should win.
All right, well, we'll see as Team Otter and Team Xeno take the rift for game number 1 in tonight's stream. Assuming that we do not get that error that has happened on rare occasions before. We're currently looking at a nice gray Summoner's Rift map, appreciating the architecture. You know, it's pretty nice. Good turrets that are magically respawned after every game. But there we go, loading into game. Fantastico, we are here. So Jungle Graves versus Kindred. Oh, I need to give my thoughts. I think that the side of Team Otter has a really solid shot of winning, even though they don't have any hard carries. Like, you're not seeing players like Seal or I don't even know.
You just roasted on every player in this game.
No,
what
I mean is,
they don't have any good players, but they don't still win.
You're not even letting me finish. What I mean is they don't have any people on main champions that they're well known for. Instead, there's a couple people that are a little bit off, like Otter playing the Nami on the bottom side. But the reason why I was saying this team is going to win is because they have historically strong players regardless of their champions, especially like Dive, who just shows up on every champion regardless of where, when, how, or what, as well as Compoison playing in the Dragon Con tournament, paired with Comsquee. These two obviously have played a lot together, have some synergy there as well. And I think that with a Nautilus on the front line, if he can get 2 items, get to a little bit of a tanky standpoint, and they were to fight around objectives such as the Dragon, the Rift Herald, or Baron, I think that Team Otter is going to be able to carry this game. We'll find out, though. We'll find out.
So, in essence, if you ignore everything Jake just said, he just said that if you're playing in this game, you're bad. That was exactly what
if you just ignore everything that I say. Exactly. Precisely. All right, swings both ways, getting down to about half. Xeno using that corrupting potion to burn him down a little bit lower. Swings both ways extremely low, forced to flash away. Xeno decides not to flash, auto, and follow. Afraid maybe of going underneath that turret. So playing a little more on the defensive side, but does have the minion wave advantage. Now 7 minions to 1. So early pressure by that Aurelia.
Yeah, definitely, and that's exactly what we were expecting. He's managed to burn out all of the Nautilus's. No, he still has 1 corrupting potion stack, but he's probably going to be forced to use that once this wave pushes back into him. So Xeno getting an early advantage for himself, and he's going to take down the Scuttle Crab for his troubles. Very nice. I am surprised to see Kindred going for topside Scuttle Crab instead of bot-side Scuttle Crab, as that has his mark attached to it. Let's see, other lanes to talk about. The bottom lane, no early level 2 all-in cheese from Cody J and Arcane Vixen.
Getting swings the face down to half, doesn't have flash. He doesn't get the shield up. He pulls Aurelia back in, gets another auto attack. But this corrupting potion has been burned down. Both these top laners are extremely low. It's Xeno who goes back in. The shield from Swing Both Ways keeps him alive for a moment, but will still fall. First blood going to Team Xeno. The commander-in-chief himself, Xeno, picking that one up.
Yeah, it's how I expected that matchup to go. Nautilus, not exactly a very strong laner, so to speak.
Oh, he's going to teleport back up here. Dive trying to get some slows down. Jumps in. Quick draw forward. Whoa, the damage! That was beautifully done, especially with that Q, the end of the line, just bursts down Irelia. Unfortunately, Nautilus wasn't there for a assist. As on the bottom side, it's a double stun with Comsquee moving around the backside. I think he had some positioning, is going to get stunned up as well. So Nami is going to fall. Now Cody J dropped down to 100 health, low, but it's 2v1 as a stun lands onto Lux in the mid lane again. She's been harassed pretty heavily, however, still keeping farm about even.
Yeah, Otter stepped very far forward past his minion waves, ate some CC there, and managed to get himself stunned up and killed. So that's kind of what I was talking about in that bot lane matchup. If you do end up with Lucian getting too much of a lead, he could end up taking over the game versus, and the stun is going to miss for Aurelia in the top lane. So no all in just yet.
Okay, so that's also why Otter was saying I lagged out in the Twitch chat, because he was explaining why he totally inted into the enemy bot lane and fed a kill over. I think it's because he's so confident in his skills. He said, I'll even give him a kill, make life easier for him, and try to help him out as I come back to destroy on this support AP Nami. She's going to absolutely wreck face with bubbles. She's going to blow some bubbles at you.
I also noticed that Consquee has taken the cull for laning phase, not concerned at all with going for in-lane kills, rather focusing on stacking up that gold and getting early items as quickly as possible. Can't disagree with it in this matchup because they're never going to win that all in, unless, of course, somebody really screws up. Whoa. There's always the possibility of that.
Nautilus down to 200, needs to play super safe, wasn't able to back with any gold, and then teleported back to lane, further costing him when it comes to items as Irelia, who did die, still was able to pick up several items as she was able to get first blood earlier. Not too much action in the mid lane. On the bottom side, Cody J still low, but dive coming around the side. It's going to be a second kill. End of the line. Finishes him off as well. I'm loving this from Dive. He does nothing but farm and then show up when somebody is underneath 200 to 300 health and is like, oh, I guess I'll take a kill here. And then just go right back into the jungle.
He's like, well, I got done farming Gromp. Time to farm bot lane.
And now they're all going to turn onto the Ocean Drake. So Otter looking to start the objective game off, and it looks like they should be able to pick it up without too much trouble. Lux, Arecia was initially headed there, just tossing down some wards. So Ocean Drake going to pick it up.
Oh, she stole it!
Wait, what? Wait. Okay, I know that I never do this, but I'm actually going to back that up and then fast forward afterwards because holy... So it gets down to 800 health, 300 health. The smite was early, and Lux ults to steal it away. What? Yeah, PogChamp indeed. Oh, it actually was so fast, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, well timed from the mid lane right there. Good shot, and manages to steal away the Ocean Drag, which at this phase in the game is probably the strongest dragon in the game.
Yeah, that's really brilliant. There's the cheers you can hear for this Lux in the mid lane, blind stealing away the Ocean Drake. So pretty spiciness, which means that in the end of it all, Team Otter on the blue side don't even get their own blue Drake, as Pyke's going to find the stun onto Nami. Nope, just going to miss. Bubble's not going to miss, though, so Squeeze going to come in, get a little bit of damage. Ghostwater Dive gets Pyke out for the moment. Xeno continuing to harass Nautilus down to about half in that top side.
Yeah, Xeno picking up the Tiamat early and getting himself some lane shove power.
Dive looks like he's going to be dived upon and finished off. The quick draw keeps him alive for a moment. Doesn't matter. He's still going to go down. So 3 kills to 2. Xeno starting to snowball a little bit like you talked about. They're roaming together now as 3 towards the bottom side. Kindred following afterwards. This Bone Lance will not land. Bone Skewer will not land. Neither will Nami's Bubble. So it looks like both sides are going to disengage.
Right now, you have a BF sword and Cull with 55 stacks on it. And once that Cull pops, I'm expecting Comsquee to have enough gold to get something pretty decent for himself. I'm pretty sure Kaisa still builds Stormrazor first. There have been a lot of ADC item mix-ups in the last couple of patches, though, and swings both ways, getting forced back yet again. 33 CS to 66 in that top lane. Absolutely brutal CS lead and an XP too.
Yeah, it's going to take him a long time to get to those tanky items that he wants when it comes to those team fights and engages that Otter is really going to have a strength for in the mid, especially late game with that hyperscaling Kaisa. But if they can't ever get there, as you talked about when it comes to Xeno, early pressure, early engage, and Lucian snowballing hard, it may mean that Otter is in a little bit of trouble. A little bit of...
Dive might have picked a bit off more than he could chew here.
Yeah, especially as Swipper comes up as well. There's the ultimate! She flashes in to keep Xeno alive. Extremely low. There's the ultimate coming down to heal Xeno. Swing both ways is going to fall as well. And Xeno picks up a second kill and gives a second one over to Swipper as well. So, Xeno still continue tracking in good pace in this game to take it and win, as they are now pushing 2,500 gold lead.
Yeah, that was almost really amusing because Xeno had the fight, killing the Graves, and when Kindred flashed in, hold on, Swipper's on this side, swings both ways, is not going. Swipper, turn. Your grub's not that important.
Swipper thinks it is, just enough to pick it up, and now turning him to swing both ways. Drops him low, doesn't have the ultimate, still walks underneath the turret. There's the ultimate from Nautilus, getting a knockup, but it's double buffs on this Lamb, and so she's going to be able to walk away for now. Swing both ways just wants the farm on the top side. He did pick up the Balmy Cinder, so looking to have a little bit of extra farm pressure, but again, that can sometimes screw up your farming if you're not careful.
Yeah, underneath turret especially. Arcane Vixen goes for an engage, but
Bubble lands on the Pike. There's the ultimate as well. Arcane Vixen's extremely low in the meantime, though. Dive is chasing down onto Swipper. One more attack should be enough. There it is, and the line going to help out with that is Cody J on the bottom side trying to finish out Calm Street, but it's the Pike ultimate. He's gotten two, and Arcane Vixen comes out massive with a double kill as Xeno on that top side is getting engaged upon now. Dive, quick draw to the side, resets his auto attack. Now Orisa comes in, has no ultimate, used it earlier, wasn't able to finish anyone off. So she's going to have to walk away slightly empty-handed, but 2 for 2 kills. 2 for 1. Yeah, 2 for 1 across the board.
Yeah, Arcane Vixen and Cody J winning out on that bottom side, almost managing, or Calm Squeam almost managing to get the turnaround fight after Pike flugged the engage. However, when you're running teleport and when they're a hyper-aggressive burst composition like that, you just can't go for the all-in even when you have that kind of an advantage. And as it stands, the Pike execute. Whose idea was it to give Darius ultimate to a support, by the way? Just saying. Not the best design decision I've ever seen.
It's even better because it gives gold to your AD carry. So it's actually an improvement on the Darius ult.
Yeah, OP Darius ult. Skill shot. So you don't even have to be close. You could just skill shot your Darius ultimate from
Now, to be fair, you can flash a Pike ultimate, whereas a Darius ult, even if you flash over a wall, the ult will still follow you, magically speaking, and kill you. You flash even though you're already dead. You just don't know it yet, because frames matter. So 4 kills to 7. Otter still a little bit slow to the game, about 3,000 gold behind, as Skidder's going to pick up the bottom side Scuttle Crab. Drake going to be spawning in about 12 seconds. Quick check-in with what it is. It's going to be a second Ocean Drake, which will help the team of Xeno, if they are able to pick it up, have 2 Ocean Drakes with no tank. That's really what you want, though, because it means that you can get that initial fight off, try to get a pick, maybe even get a kill, then back away, regen and heal back up.
You might have Xeno.
Xeno is going to be dropped extremely low. Throws down the ultimate, but the disarm's not going to do much. The stun will, though! Woo! And Xeno gets the trade on the top side. Swipper around the corner just to cheer him on. That was a beautiful play from Xeno. Arcane Vixen is going to miss. Oh, the ultimate from Nami going to land onto the Lucian. He's forced to flash away. Cody J starts the calling, but it's not hitting anyone. He's extremely low. Going to be dropped with a ultimate from Graves that hits 2. Woo!
Meanwhile, first turret goes down on the top side. Xeno grabbing that gold up for himself. But the turnaround from Otter there was clutch right there. He managed to flash the Pike engage, fire the ultimate, get the knock-up, and then hit the bubble on Beast.
Is this going to happen again? Orisa? Otter comes in. He actually checks with the okay, all right. So checks with the ward, and that forces Lux to back away. Lux backing away means no ultimate, and with that, the Ocean Drake is going to go over to Team Otter, tying up the 2. But for a moment, it was looking like there was a setup for round 2, as Xeno comes in the mid lane. Oh, the damage from Poison is just insane. Drops Irelia to half and forces a recall. Wait, no, hold on. Double pause.
Rude.
Poison has ultimate available. Could try to get in. Now, something to note is Rift Herald was picked up earlier when the Ocean Drake was going down, and the Irelia does have it, so that empowered back is going to allow her to escape. But we could see Lux going down here in a moment as the sun comes through. Poison sets up for the ultimate, as well as Otter is here trying to get some damage down. Ignites away. Poison finishes it off with a Q. Swipper jumps forward, though. Forces flash for
trade
flash.
of flashes in the mid lane.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Dive managing to take away or pick up his own blue buff, as he already had one from a kill he picked up earlier. But Arcane Vixen and Cody J pressure on the bottom side, and that is going to be with Cody J's auto attack refreshes from Lightslinger. That's going to be the second turret going down for Xeno. But speaking of Xeno, on the top side, you've got a gank coming in just a second.
There it is, Dive chasing and getting a little bit of damage. Quick draw gonna be for the slow. As Xeno dropped down to 300 health, trying to run away now towards the enemy base. See if you can get around. There's no blast cone available to get over a wall. Could be looking for an execute, just wasting some of these guys' time. Yeah,
He might get it.
I think he's just going for an execute. We'll see. One more tower shot. Oh, the shield keeps it alive long enough to get to the inhibitor turret. He's still waiting it out. The flash forward, the ultimate, it tags him! No, it doesn't! Oh my goodness, it was close, but I thought Dive had the collateral damage, the flash as well, to get as close as possible. In the end, the execute still went down. Bottom lane turret is still down. However, that said, the 3,000 gold is starting to narrow a little bit. Now down to about 2.7k gold. We'll see if Otter can keep this gold stacking back up, as they both in the mid lane get chunked pretty massively by one Lux E.
Yeah, checking in on the CS. 11 up for Cody J. However, swings both ways, is not having any of this ADC nonsense. Manages to land the chain. And Swipper versus Dive. Who wins this? Dive is a lot more fed than Swipper, but
The Lux ultimate comes through. Ooh! It saves Dive, though. He is going to be dropped extremely low. Kai'Sa ult drops to the backside, throws it out as well. Killer Instinct gets one, but now in trouble. Flashes over the wall. Dive is still alive as well. Arcane Vixen trying to chase in, but the Pike ultimate missed earlier. Oh, and the Bone Skewer not going to land either. Dive still able to escape for the moment, wants to go back in on Arcane Vixen, dodges this stun, Calm Squeeze here as well, hopping over the wall with the Blast Cone. They're able to pick up the Pike, and now it's on to Xeno, as in the top side, swings both ways, doing what he can to defend against the 80 carry of Xeno, but Xeno is fighting pretty chaotically. Xeno wanting to go in onto the Nami. Syndra here for the backside, finds the Sun onto the Lux, but Xeno goes all in, drops the Syndra extremely low, is going to pick up the kill, and the double snare by Lux means the bottom lane can't join.
While you have your ADC in the top lane, Cody J mashing up against the tank, but Xeno caught out
ultimate
here.
from Otter is only going to speed dive forward. He should be able to finish off the Irelia. There's the ultimate down, finishes off the Nami. Lux good binding as well to set that one up. So it is a trade still 1-for-1 on the bottom side. 10 kills to 10, but we're getting close to even in gold. Calling from the Lucian, going to come through, but he's extremely low on mana, so not going to be able to shove in that turret anymore. As Dive chasing down onto Swipper. Squeeze going to find him with the Void Seekers. Swipper is going to be dropped, and Dive 9-2-1. His damage is unstoppable, and at this point is the carrying factor for Team Otter.
Yeah, so you've got a really fed Graves who scales pretty well. The thing is, you also have a very fed Kindred, or moderately fed Kindred. He has a lot of marks. I think he's managed to pick up 4 at this point in the game. So definitely advantageous for him as a player. However, for a team-wide advantage, Dive having 9 kills for himself, plus 1 on the Kai'Sa and 1 on the Syndra, those are all pretty much exactly where you want them.
Yeah, I mean, this Graves is really starting to get scary. He's completed 2 full items, starting to get his 3rd as well. And once he's able to get full 6 items.
Xeno goes for the all-in.
Yeah, Xeno goes in onto Otter, flashes, keeps him alive. Nami is still going to be finished off by the Lux ultimate. Irelia is the one who gets the last hit as Squee comes in with the Killer Instinct to help finish off Irelia, though somehow Nami I'm going to assume with the Ignite is actually the one who gets credit for the kill on Irelia.
Yeah, Anami dropping the Ignite right there at the end manages to get credit for it. Poison almost went down in that engage, however, managed to dive around on the tower.
Can dive 2v1. He's getting extremely low, and he does get finished off. Swipper doesn't even drop the ultimate to try to bait Graves in.
Yeah.
Simple 2v1, more damage.
Yeah, so Cody J really just playing split pusher in this instance. He's 140 CS to the 115 of Kaisa right now, so really heavy advantage in his favor, and he's actually stacking up a good number of items for himself, going to hit that 2-item spike long before his opposite number. Only has 1 kill to his name, so he's not massively fed or anything, but he is sporting the largest CS in numbers in the game, even though he did just miss that cannon like a scrub.
We're not going to talk about that. Syndra not too far behind, though, as Swing Both Ways is going to be jumped on by the Wolves in the jungle, chasing a Swipper out of Blue Side's jungle. Dive coming in as well. So they're just kind of getting some wards and vision down as the Baron is about to spawn in 20 seconds. There is a 3rd Ocean Drake in the game available right now. Neither team running for it, though, as they know that these objectives like the mid lane are a little bit more important. Snare comes down to the Nami, needs to play safe. Stun finds the Pike. Hook finds the Pike. Death finds the Pike as the Grim Reaper will tear that Pike straight back down to a watery grave. Xeno to the bottom side trying to get some damage on the turret, but Cotton Squeeze there to defend.
Yeah, I was very surprised Xeno didn't go for the all-in there. Of course, he probably didn't know who was TPing in, but even so, I'm surprised he didn't lay down the stun, and when he saw it was Squeeze, go for the all-in, because Xeno's really powerful right now.
Trinity Force, as well as starting to stack up that Tiamat. Still has a Corrupting Potion as well. Decides not to engage in a 2v1. There is Graves around the corner pings on the Ocean Drake from Red Team. Looks like they're just going to pick up the Scuttle Crab, get some vision, kind of bait out Otter, see where they decide to move first. Nautilus is still on the top side. He does have teleport, though, so he can join if a fight breaks out on the bottom side.
Lux is down here, too, and she lands the snare.
Oh, the snare lands onto the Graves. Ultimate's going to come through, but that means it's not available as the Nami ultimate's going to take out Irelia. Dive getting the finish as Asilia now dropped low. Able to get back underneath the turret in time. 3 members of Otter here trying to push it out. They can rotate to the Ocean Drake, but it's going to be a little bit scary. Keep in mind, though, that Lux ultimate's down for another short bit as the Graves is going to try to find a little bit of damage on the Swipper. In the meantime, Poison stunned up in the mid lane, immediately cleanses. Dashing won't get out of the ultimate from Pike, though, so she will be dropping. There's no minions, though, for Xeno to push. They're going to have to wait for the next wave as Nautilus is pushing on the top side. Checking on his damage, gets it extremely low.
Cody J and Arcane Vixen going to have the pressure onto the mid lane, might be able to take it down. But certainly all the pressure now on the Ocean Drake, despite the fact that Blue Team actually had the priority on the drag after that bot lane fight. They did not turn for it, and now they get both mid lane and the Ocean Drake out of it. So good shot calling from Xeno.
Yeah, really, Team Xeno is showing some amazing work rotating around the map. They lose the top lane turret, but it's fine. They get 1 trade in the mid and a 2nd Ocean Drake. And now, as we have 3 Ocean Drakes, there will be no more for the rest of the game. We can check in, though, as Lucian's walking around this side, as it is a Mountain Drake that's going to be spawning next. So we'll see which team decides to prioritize that, as it would help take Baron even easier. It is still interesting that the gold hasn't shifted that much. Still somewhere around that 2,000 to 3,000 gold difference between these 2 teams. So they're keeping things fairly even. And as we talked about, there's the possibility that it favors Otter when it comes to the late game if they can get this Kaisa truly hyper carrying at that point. She's finished 1 item off, though, and has a ways to go before finishing a 2nd one.
Having Kaisa fight through the dive here, who is about to destroy Cody J.
Yeah, Lucian off on the side by himself, finished off. There's still 2 members of Otter down here, which means the 3 from Xeno could try to push down mid lane. Bone Skewer not going to land, but the Lux ultimate's going to hit too. Nautilus, though, finally starting to get tanky. Has his Sunfire Cape and a little bit of extra help with that Giant's Belt. Through that mid lane, Nami Bubble going to land onto Arcane Vixen. Dive coming in, trying to look for those AoE hits. Bone Skewer, will it land? Doesn't. Squeeze throws out that Void Seeker, just trying to get a little bit of vision. A lot of skills being missed between both teams as everyone's fishing. But the ward advantage is in Xeno's favor. They've got about 6 wards spread around this area. Bone Skewer going to land onto Graves, not going to do much. He just dives, or yeah, just hops right out of it. Throws out the ultimate as well. Swipper's low. Nami ultimate's going to force the flash. The flash from Arcane Vixen as well. And Team Xeno forced back underneath their mid lane turret. Xeno goes in, though. He's trying to dash into the rest of the team. The flash, though, from, I believe it was Nautilus. No, Graves gets him out of harm's way. Lux and Air going to land onto the Nautilus. Not much else coming out. They're still kind of playing around these skill shots as they're trying to see who can land what. There's the Lux ultimate coming through, landing on 2. Graves is extremely low. He's the one. He's executed by the Pike ultimate, who's going to finish off the Nami as well. And now swings both ways, is in trouble. Going to be finished off. Irelia picking up a double kill. Comspeed, the only one left alive, and is taken out by a Pike ultimate. And it's a triple for the Pike. Ace for the side of Team Xeno. They delayed the fight long enough with double Ocean Drakes regen back up, and you give Pike the opportunity to ult through a team, and that's an ace.
They can't group up like that. Arcane Vixen is actually huge right now, 6-3, and the thing is, all that gold is going over to another member of the team as well. So while the score lines don't look that great from Xeno, having wow. Cody J's ultimate interrupted by the Baron, who's like, nope, I don't want to get ulted.
You don't
pretty
get to
Baron skin, though.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind this Baron for pretty much all games. I know it's only for the Odyssey period of time, but it's pretty clean if I say so myself. But Otter having to lick the wounds of that last team fight, suddenly find themselves almost 10,000 gold behind, and a Baron fresh into the arms of Team Xeno, who at this point have the lead when it comes to those team fights, and they can use that to really secure this game.
I'm waiting to see Swipper invade into the jungle a little bit more and pick up some more marks for himself. The Kindred is powerful, but the most, it's better if he has more marks so that you can abuse your range buff as well as damage and the extra execute damage on your E and the extra attack speed from your Q. So there are all kinds of uses, but you have to get, well, I think it's 7 marks to get another trigger proc out of your passive. Just got, and Kindred has marked the Graves for death. From a strategic standpoint, I think I would mark the guy who's died the most, the Nami, as opposed to the 12 and 4 Graves, so you can't fight even if you do catch him out. Anyway.
Commander C pulling out some serious shade in the chat. No one remembers Ivern except for that one guy who plays Ivern top and ranked and wins quite a lot with him. As Xeno backing away on the bottom side. It's 2v2 though. Pike around the corner, looking for an opportunity to engage. Uses Ghostwater Dive to get himself to a safe position. In the mid lane, Poison trying to defend against the Baron-empowered minions. Kindred and Lux both pushing this one in. And Lucian still split pushing on the side, but that grants him a 225 minion count at this point. Even 25 over his Irelia that has a similar minion as Xeno. Is going to be knocked up by the Nautilus ultimate. Can Otter finally find the fight that they want? The collateral damage going to come through to finish off Irelia. They're going to get Arcane Vixen as well. So it takes out 2 for the side of Xeno, but their mid lane is not being harassed, though, as those members are going to back away looking for the Drake instead. Mountain spawning about 25 seconds. As Otter DCs, Otter, what are you doing? Or is he still giving advantages over to Team Xeno because he's just that good?
Yeah, he's just nice. He wants to make them feel good about themselves.
I mean, they're already winning by almost, 10,000 gold. But you know what? We got to make them feel even better about their current stance in the game. It is a tournament draft, so these teams could pause, but Otter's back already, so no pause necessary. Mountain Drake on the map. Team Otter pinging it out. Graves around the corner. 14, 4, and 1. Plenty of damage to solo it, but he doesn't want to go alone. So he's taking some teammates with him as they start it up. Can Lux find a second ultimate to steal it away? We'll find out as she's going to again take position in her favorite brush.
Yep, she is in position once again. Throws out that Q. I feel like I've seen this before. Swipper manages to pick up poison on the side.
Oof.
Xeno caught up a little bit, drops down the ultimate, and Swipper kiting beautifully on the side. Arcane Vixen's in the middle of everything, now starts ulting. He has another stack. Dive is saved by the Kindred ultimate, who then jumps out of the ult and doesn't go for the kill on the most fed member. Squee now in the middle of everything. Cody J has the dash up, but elects not to go for the damage. Kindred is out on the side, and it is going to be the end of Cody J.
Man, Otter comes out huge. They really played around focusing the right people. Drop Xeno early on into the fight. Even Graves using that collateral damage on only one person still guarantees that kill. Then immediately turning onto the squishy Arcane Vixen, saying we need to take out this Pyke, even though he did get one ult down before he get the reset, as in the mid lane, Comscree trying to 1v1 Swipper, can't do it! Swipper's damage is just too great, and the Kindred 1v2s in the mid lane, even though Team Otter do still pick up the Mountain Drake at the end of it. But man, that fight back and forth is just crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Like I was saying, in the late game, Kindred, if you know how to play her, is absolutely stupid. And I do believe that they have a decent Kindred in Swipper. So if they can stall out into the very, very late game, where Kindred has 6 items, Graves has 6 items, he's the more powerful of the 2 champions. However, Graves has stronger early game and has decent late game scaling, so it all depends on your positioning.
I am not support biased, Commander. I don't know what you're talking about ever. I have never. Will I ever? Otter comes to the bottom side with that supportive Nami making these plays. Nautilus isn't doing anything as Nami is trying to bait Aurelia in underneath the turret, throws out the ultimate, sacrifices her own life to get the kill on Aurelia. This Nami's play is so godlike. Even says, I will sacrifice myself to take out the most fed enemy team member, as the rest of Team Otter is going to collapse. Now they find the stun onto the Pyke. He tries to dash to safety for the moment, gets out using his flash as well. The collateral damage from Graves not going to be enough to take him out. Just damages Cody J a little bit. Bone Skewer is going to miss as well. But now at 3,000 health, Nautilus comes to the mid lane to try to push it out. There's no Baron on the map. 2 Drakes to 2 Drakes. Baron up in a minute 15.
So Arcane Vixen and Cody J in that middle lane, just finishing up farming right now. You've got 240 CS on Cody J. That is 40 or 20 CS up on the closest person, but a lot more than that on almost all of the opposite team. You've got 193 on Kaisa versus, that's almost a 60 CS lead. That's a lot of gold. That's like, what, 3 kills? However, it's unfortunately not going into the best late game scaling build. Black Cleaver and Blade of the Ruin King. I was trying to say something else. No, I was some random old item that kept popping into my head. Anyway, so now it's just kind of a wave clear game at this point, shoving waves in, clearing out vision, and shoving the waves in again. So we'll see who cracks, who makes a misplay first, and Arcane Vixen might. No.
Yeah,
Dive.
nice quick draw. Yep, gets him out of harm's way. I also like some of the positioning. He isn't standing right next to the wall so that he can't be pulled over the wall with that Bone Skewer. Instead, this is twice now that he's been a little bit away from the wall, so he just gets pulled next to it, as there is a set amount of distance that you can be pulled. As Otter trying to defend this mid lane. Graves is towards the bottom side, continuing to grab some of his jungle. They do have warding advantage around the Baron, though Xeno is now going to be able to walk through this area, clean up some of those. The stun finds Pyke from the Syndra. She also has a Banshee's Veil. A little bit harder to take her out as it will get popped by the Lux.
Now it's just the start of the Baron dance, and a stun lands down from
Oh,
Syndra.
wait, Pyke is gone. Yeah, they take him out immediately. The healer instinct from Comscree finds the Lux as well. This should be the Baron in the hands of Team Otter as they're going to start it up. Now, Kindred is still alive and well, has Flash and a Blast Cone on top of it, so could try to steal it away. Things could get pretty spicy. We'll see if Team Otter can stop Swipper in time. He's got good damage over the wall, dropping Dive extremely low. He's the most fed member. The Kindred not in position, though, for the Baron, and so will be forced to back away. Uses the ultimate as as well. Drops extremely low. Aurelia in the middle of everything, though, is immediately shut down. This is Nami ultimate, knocking her up, keeping her from doing almost anything. So Team Otter not only get the Baron, but now are able to push out the mid lane. They have only one turret this entire game to the 5 the Team Xeno's been able to pick up. So they have a ways to go to push it out, but that's standing gold on the map for them to pick up.
Hello. I am Bill Murray. That's an old joke from a League of Legends meme that happened back in Season 1 concerning a champion that's in the game that has absolutely no relevance, but it crossed my mind. Anyway, Arcane Vixen looking for an engage. Banshee's Veil going to be popped out. That might be the Bone Skewer finding the Syndra in a second round. And that, it seems Swipper is listening to me, because I was saying that the Kindred should mark the Nami rather than the incredibly fed 17-4 Graves, who's building the what I like to refer to as the Immortality build, which is a Death's Dance, a Phantom Dancer, and then a Ninja Tabby. That gives you an incredible amount of damage reduction. You've got 10% coming, or 12% from basic attacks blocked. Then you've got a second 12% from whoever you attacked last, and then you've got 30% of all of your damage taken reduced or completely negated and taken as a bleed effect over time. So that's like 50 or 60% of total damage either negated or deferred. So actually dealing with dive is going to be very, very difficult.
Indeed.
Wait, Xeno is so tanky.
Oh, he is about that 3k health, though. I don't know if he can survive multiple members of Team Otter, as Calm Squeeze is going to use the Killer Instinct to jump right in, dive with the collateral damage to finish off Aurelia. Again and again, we see this damage, and now it is the Elder Drake that's up on the map. 2 Drakes to 2 Drakes. Lucian is pushing the mid lane, though. He is going to get some of those minions underneath the turret and start to harass it down. The Elder Drake's going to fall, though, and immediately you had Syndra recalling before the Elder Drake even went down, so she's going to be able to try to defend. We'll see if Cody J can avoid it. He just used his Relentless Pursuit, though, so he's immediately taken out. Comsquee in trouble. Doesn't matter, though. Pike Ultimate's going to be able to pick up one. Takes out the Kaisa, and the rest of the team is destroyed. Dive just jumps on the back line. Godlike on the dive. 19-4 and 5. Game definitely not carried by Graves. Nope.
Yeah.
Should we say Team Dive instead of Team Otter?
Team paid by Otter, carried by Graves. Carried by Dive. Okay, yeah, that was really disgusting. He just dove into the back line and 2-shot everybody. It's kind of disgusting to watch. Now Xeno, despite having lots of health,
flashes away. Dive is he doesn't care about Aurelia ultimate. Disarm. He says it's fine. I got some skills. I got some abilities. And I'll just stand in it and keep autoing you. So mid lane inhibitor going to go down. The rest of the team trying to come in as well. We'll see if Nautilus is tanky enough to handle them. And it looks like he is so far. Lux trying to do what she can, but the Nexus turret is going to fall. Dive goes into the back line. He finishes off Pike, even though Pike is trying to ultimate. He is going to go down to the Lucian, but this is it. This is for all of the candy, as Cody J is keeping alive from the Kindred ultimate. Will be dropped by the Nami. MVP Nami, obviously. Swipper dashing forward, gets one, but can't finish off the Nautilus. And now swings both ways. The only member standing besides the Kaisa.
Xeno's gonna be up in 9 seconds.
Enough on the TSM chant, guys. Enough on that. I like it, but that's quite all right. Ice, I'll answer you in a second. The end of the game is hype. It's swing both ways. Keep Squee alive as he showed up here for the final fight. Xeno trying to finish off the Nautilus. Does get a little bit of damage. Takes him out, but Squee is able to get it finished off. And that's going to be the Nexus dropped as well. And Team Otter take victory in game number 1.
Yep, that is...
Oh, we got a double Nexus explosion too. Pretty spicy right there.
Amazing. Anyway, so that was a fairly eventful game right there at the end. Basically, Dive gets fed. Dive carries game. Pretty much what happened right along.
Dive in the pocket of Otter, no doubt. Quite obvious, we can tell.
Yeah, highest paid member of Team Otter.
Definitely. Obviously, Xeno needs to pay his team better. You know, team captains, you can tell which one is hanging out with Team Liquid. Otter. Anyway, MVPs and honorable mentions.
Graves permaban. Yep. Sorry, Dive. You're never playing that champion again. All right. So, MVPs, honorable mentions, and shoutouts for Team Xeno. Let's go with honorable mention. Xeno gets honorable mention for the side of Xeno. And Swipper gets the MVP. Xeno started out really well, pressuring his lane opponent really hard, getting first blood and second blood and first tower. It's in that kind of mid-game phase where he lost relevancy a little bit, mostly due to the fact that Dive was just popping off. Swipper, on the other hand, managed to pull off several important ganks and stack up marks for himself, and did a fair amount of damage in toward the late game. Heavy shout out to the bot lane collectively between Cody J and Arcane Vixen, but Arcane Vixen really popping off on the Pike executes, getting a triple kill for herself at one point. So MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout outs. And then we're going to give MVP for honorable mention for Team Otter. I think Otter actually does deserve the honorable mention for his team. There are a couple of engages in the bot side where Cody and Arcane went for an all-in, which they should have won by a matchup standpoint, especially the fact that Squee had statted himself for a complete farming-focused build. However, there was one instance where Otter flashed the Bone Skewer, threw out the ultimate instantly, and then nailed Cody J with the bubble on the downswing, setting up for a double kill for Dive and getting him rolling. So that gives him the honorable mention, and the MVP obviously goes over to the ADC right now. To the jungle ADC, sorry. Dive basically solo carrying his team. There were other factors in there, some other players who played well, but really it was the Dive show. Getting into that late game, absolutely disgusting damage. He was in good position for early game dives, in good position noticing where the other team had positioned themselves, and then coming down for easy ganks. They had engaged, and then, turned back around. Dive ends up getting 2 kills in the bot lane, another kill behind the turret, then another kill top lane, and another kill top lane. Pretty soon you have a 9 and 2 Graves on your hand, and you're like, what are we going to do with this guy? So that's your MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs.
And yeah, I definitely agree with the shout-out for Arcane Vixen on the Pike, who really showed up strong, was giving a lot of gold to Cody J.
Wait, what? Hold on. No. I said if it was an even game, if the game went even, they would win. Team Otter would win. I said if the game heavily snowballed in laning phase, then Team Xeno would win. I was right. No. I'm not giving you that one.
We'll give you 0.5. This is why
you read chat, boys.
Jake won Wraith 0.5. We'll give him 0.5 credit, guys. We'll give him 0.5.
You had no defense. You had no defense except for the idea that Dives. You basically said Dive is better than all of you guys, so he's gonna destroy you, which did happen.
Well, hey, can you argue against that? But what I said was people were playing off roles, but collectively their team as a whole has enough history and enough experience that they should be able to come out with the victory. They struggled in the early game, but guess what? When they started team fighting as a group, guess what they did? They started winning those team fights and they won the game. So that's all. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll argue in the Twitch chat a little bit more. But guys, thank you for joining us, and we will be right back with game number 2 as I get it set up.